Try and get this banana down. There we go. Ooh, afternoon, everyone. We're live. Trying to scarf down a little food before we get going. Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Mother's Day, of course. We're trying to set up the second camera because it started raining, which you guys will see in a few moments. But for now, you got me. We have, I think, a pretty interesting topic today, talking about container homes. But before we even get into that, there's some other things in the news that I wanted to talk about that are happening, mostly related to, I would say, technology for the most part. And then we can get into the container homes. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you guys had a great week last week. We had a pretty good one. I forgot. I also have an article that I was featured in this week, so I'm gonna actually try to find that and put that add that to our discussion today. Let me see if I can find it right now. Maybe we can start off with that. That's an easy layout. We can get into the rest. Hold on, the rain is starting to get us wet over here. Sorry, team is doing the best they can with the sudden downpour, but we need the rain. I've been saying this for a while. Of course, let me know where everybody's chiming in from, which city, which state, what country. Always love to hear it, and then make whatever connections that we can with that. Hey, Rachel. Thanks for hopping on, as always. Hello to Mom. Happy Sunday, Donna. Happy Mother's Day to all. Donna's chiming in from Ottawa. Hello, Andrew. Blessed Sunday to you as well. All right, I found my article. We'll get to that. We'll get to that shortly. But yeah, as I was saying before, like today we're talking about the container homes. We're going to be doing a few articles. We'll be going through that. And then also we have a video from another YouTuber that I thought was really good. I feel like maybe we talked about this internally with my team, but I feel like we talked about this, or maybe talked about this YouTuber on here, but I don't think we shared her video. So I want to do that and maybe get her some views. She did a good job. Hello, Shayna. Shane says, hello, beautiful people, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Thanks for joining. Andrew says, hi, Throp. Great Jin and Jay collab. Thank you. That was an awesome interview. Hope you, if you haven't seen it already, we did, I did an interview with Jin. Sorry, exposure. I did an interview with Jin from the Jin and Jay channel, YouTube channel. She moved from Toronto to Jamaica in August of 2022. And really interesting story in terms of why she did it, how she did it, how she's doing it, I should say. And I think one of the most interesting parts is the how, because particularly, as we always say here, like one of the main things that people, and rightfully so, what individuals are concerned about or think about a lot in respect to moving to Jamaica is their income and figuring that out. And she does it in a very I'd almost say the combination of the modern and the traditional. So she has a quote unquote brick and mortar physical business that she has here in Jamaica, and then she also does in Toronto. And then she's also a digital entrepreneur as well. And I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen the interview, but she's doing an awesome job since she's been here, and she's a single mother. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. She has a 5-year-old son, Jay, hence the Jin and Jay channel, and they do content together. Really, really entertaining. Also, I think really inspirational just from the comments that I've been seeing on the videos. Take off my hat, it's actually warm. Just from the comments that I've been seeing on the videos, they are she and her son are very, very inspirational, especially like there's a lot of single mothers who want to move here and are looking to make their dream of living in Jamaica possible, and she has shown that it is very, very much possible, and she's doing it in a really, really big way. So really great. I'm gonna got the camera up. Really, really great video. And what I really appreciated about her is that she was just super, super transparent about her whole process, her reasons, um, how she does it, how she makes her money, and everything like that. And she was very, very encouraging for others to do that. And that's not something that we have gone so specific in on this channel. We've talked a lot about entrepreneurship and different businesses that I think would do well, particularly here in Negril. And this is like a real world example of somebody who's doing it and is doing it in a very different and unique way. So very much, I would say, recommend it. It was a good video. It was a good interview. All right, I think we got the other. Nope. There we go. Okay. So yeah, it's raining out here. As you can see, that is the rain camera, I guess we'll call it for today. But we need it. We need it. All right, let's go back to the comments. Chantel says, finally back after missing 2 Sundays. Happy Sunday, Throp and Throppers, and happy Mama's Day to all the moms online. Yadi chiming in from Dallas. Awesome. Miss Cole says, hi everyone, checking in from cloudy Jamaica. No rain yet. Happy Mother's Day to the mothers. Where in Jamaica are you, Miss Cole? Because it's definitely raining here, as you can see. Fitzroy chiming in from Fort Lauderdale, Coral Springs, Florida. Marjorie's in Tampa. Welcome. Vivian asks, is my background real? No, it is not. That is I'm not even on the screen at first. Sorry about that. It's a mural in the background there. Dolores says, happy Sunday, Thropping everyone. Portlander in London and at a house. Welcome. Miss Cole says, I love that interview. It was very interesting. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Elegance Vlog says, hi, good afternoon, Throp. I'm tuning in from the UK. Have you got a contact that you can message need to speak to you about a health drive we are organizing in Jamaica? Yeah, sure. If you can email me at throp@thropmedia.com, THROP@thropmedia.com, and we'll see what we can do. Shannon Love Coaching says, that was great and fun interview. Yeah, some of you had some really, speaking of fun, some interesting comments. I'll say that. You guys are very, very funny. Yvonne chiming in, good morning from California. Hello, Dr. Joe. Congratulations again. Dr. Joe says, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all the ladies. Jeff Rogerson, sunny in Montreal. Awesome. Oh, Miss Cole is in Sav. Yeah, Miss Cole, I think this rain could be on its way to you. Natasha York says, hi, all. Hope your day is going great so far. Happy Mother's Day all the way from ATL, Georgia. Welcome. Jay Fitz says, hello, Throp family, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Vivian says, it's 68 degrees with a gentle breeze. That sounds like a a lovely day. You're welcome, Joe. Hello, Parchment. Thanks for being here. Rick is in the Rockaways. Okay. Thanks for joining, Kirk. Hey, been watching you for a while now from Sugar Hill, Harlem. Now building in Negril. Thanks for all the info. Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate your support. Appreciate you watching. Yeah, I hope this rain cools down the place. It's been like we have been going through like a heat wave here, and it's been very, very, very warm. I really felt it on my run yesterday. That was a really, really rough run. It was very warm, super, super warm. Warren says, "Good afternoon, Sir Throp. Happy Mother's Day to my mom in upstate New York. Happy Mother's Day to her. Awesome, Jovi. Hey, can you do a video on running cost of a hotel and how you advertise yours?" Sure, we could do that. We could do a hotel entrepreneurship video. I could talk about that all day. Okay, let's get into some of these first articles. So, like I said, we're going to be doing start with a few articles that I want to bring to the table, and then we'll transition over to the container discussion. So let's start off with my article. I forgot to share this. I'm going to share this in the community page. So this was a fun interview that I did with Caribbean National Weekly. I'm going to throw it in the comment section here. I mean, I feel like, do we need to go through this? I feel like all this. Well, I guess not everybody. Not everybody is super familiar with everything. So I'll read through it quickly. I thought this was a pretty good article. It was an interview on me that I did a couple of weeks ago. It's in the comment section there if you want to read along, and then we'll get into some other stuff. And it reads, Winthrop Wellington is educating the diaspora about living and investing in Jamaica. Hold on, let me see if I could share this. 1 second. All right, there we go. And it's by Nicanor Gordon. And it reads, pretty soon, Winthrop Wellington will have to start waking up at 4 a.m. The Jamaican sun takes no prisoners, and with the summer months approaching, Wellington, who is better known as Throp, is determined to outpace the heat. Every day, the 39-year-old head of Throp Media squeezes in a yoga routine and a run. He credits the practice of regular running for helping him establish discipline and the determined mindset he brings to all avenues of his life. Journey to Jamaica. There's a theme of motion throughout Wellington's story. Born and raised in New York City, actually Long Island, but we'll keep it going. I'll take it. We witnessed firsthand his father's entrepreneurial spirit through both his thriving New York City-based taxi company and Travelers Beach Resort, which sits on the 7-mile beach of Negril, Jamaica. Initially not content to follow in the family business, a young Wellington majored in finance and management at the University of Albany, where he made strides to reach the top of his field. He soon qualified for a second-round interview for a position at one of the leading investment groups, Morgan Stanley. Caught up in a whirlwind, Wellington recalls the furious and fast pace of city life took its toll, slamming espressos, the pressure to find a job, balancing a social life, the anxiety of sending applications, the seemingly endless and rigorous interviews were all part of regular life. Quote unquote, I had my moment of truth. Wellington explains, I asked myself why I was doing this. He needed to slow down, adjusting to life in Jamaica. In 2006, he moved to his father's native country, Jamaica, and began assisting with the Travelers Beach Resort. Not a lot of thought was put into the decision, he admits, but it seemed like the best opportunity for me in my life from a long-term perspective. It would be easy to assume that what came next was an immediate love affair with his island home, After all, to date, along with the executive roles at his family owned hotel, Wellington has also held the position of Negril chapter chairman for the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association and is the founder of Thought Media. All of these jobs were about celebrating the potential and wonder of Jamaica. Moving to Jamaica was a rough transition, he freely admits. I was trying to stick a square peg into a round hole. He says there was a real sensory and cultural overload on top of learning the hotel business on the fly. Homesick, Wellington would fly back to New York every month, racking up an unsustainable travel expense. He was so out of touch with his surroundings that he didn't realize he was living in paradise. There was a period of, say, 2 to 3 years without going to the beach or going to the water, he laughs, and I live on the beach. I'm just reading this for the first time, mind you. So this is funny to just being experiencing this all with you all. Anyway, to fall in love with the country, he learned to see it through the eyes of others. Friends would visit or move to Jamaica, and he would marvel at how at peace they were. He traveled around the island, taking in everywhere from dense urban Kingston to serene, remote Treasure Beach. Along with his two younger brothers, he took over the operations of Travelers Beach Resort, providing another vantage point for what the island could do for visitors and permanent migrants alike. I realized this immense sense of gratefulness and gratitude, recalls Wellington. He's convinced Jamaica is not just special, but will become a wealthy island. Man, I feel like I got in on Microsoft in the 70s, he chuckles. Founding Thought Media. In 2017, his youngest brother, Wingate Wellington, took over every aspect of running the resort. Under his stewardship, Travelers is thriving, earning rave reviews from visitors and guests. While Winthrop Wellington remains a managing director at the resort, he suddenly came into a surplus of free time. His first plan was to become a travel vlogger, documenting his fitness journey on the quest to compete in the 6 major marathons across the world. However, he hit his first snag. I discovered very quickly that nobody cared about my running. He laughs. On top of that, traveling costs quickly proved to be prohibitive. So he recalibrated. Instead of showing his journey around the world, he would showcase Jamaica, especially Negril, his adopted home. Now, instead of leaving the island, he's going to do all he can to bring people to the island. On his YouTube channel, simply called Throp, he hosts a series of interviews with notable Jamaicans and foreigners who have invested in Jamaica. Though a combination of compelling guests, high production values, and prolific output, sometimes releasing 3 interviews in a week, Wellington has managed to maintain a growing and passionate community he affectionately calls Throppers. You all made that name up, Throppers. So that's so awesome. ThropX was the net. ThropX was the natural next step for his eager community, excited about investing in networking and an affable host willing and able to put it all together. I use the community canvas to canvas different topics and questions, he explains. I want to bring together these people the community already knew about and that have this parasocial relationship with. ThropX allows the community to see a podcast in person and to interact with the experts they've come to know through Wellington's videos. The annual event takes place in Negril at where else but Travelers Beach Resort. It's possible to get a package deal that includes lunch and dinner, residential and commercial real estate tours, panel discussions, and more. For throppers who can't make the trip, a virtual ticket is available for $150, providing a complete remote access to the 5-day event. The event's panel discussions are diverse and some surprising, with gregarious speakers sharing riveting insights into various disciplines, bucking, bucking what you might expect from a conference focused on entrepreneurship and investment. Particularly standouts include Overcoming Bad Mind in Business and Cautionary Tales from a Jamaican real estate lawyer. While several videos of the last event are already online, some are still making their way to the channel, Wellington notes. Words of wisdom. Despite managing a production company and organizing annual events, Wellington still dreams about the prestigious 6-star medal for runners. I cannot be here I cannot be here with my business and my channel without running, he reflects. It has taught me so much about myself. He remembers discovering the qualification times for the Tokyo Marathon, one of the 6 major marathons. For the men's full marathon, the time was and remains still under 2 hours and 32 minutes. The maximum number of entrants is 50, split between 25 men and 25 women. This isn't fair, he remembers thinking in 2016. I started pointing my finger outwards. Today he can hit under the qualifying time before breakfast. Never put limitations on what you can do and what you can achieve, he advises. He believes Thought Media can go international, and what is going to stop him? Like his running and the country that has adopted him, he believes Thought Media has the untapped potential ready to flow to the surface. Yeah, that was my first time reading that. So that's the article. That was fun. That was fun. Hold on. All right. So yeah, I guess that was for those that didn't read. That's a little bit of insight into how I got here and how I got started. One thing I want to touch on too is from the article was the my transition. I know I've spoken about this before, and this is just advice for anybody who's considering moving here. It's just different being here, living here, doing business here compared to when you're vacationing here or coming to visit family. And I was very young at the time. I was 22 years old, just fresh out of college. And as the article stated, it was just like a sensory and cultural overload that I wasn't prepared for, and I didn't gear my mind up for. And perhaps it was a good thing that I came in so naive, so to speak, because trying, maybe if I had, hold on, there's a fire. Be right back. Okay, I think we're okay. Whew. Minor emergency. It's okay. I think we're okay. There was like a little fire that happened, so they got it. Sorry, 1 second, guys. We'll get back to it in a second. We might need to go to commercial break. Sorry, guys. We got to just take a quick commercial break. Just want to make sure everything's okay. Gonna throw on a. What video should we do here? All right, we'll do Christmas run video. Sorry, be right back. This is the restaurant deck. Early morning, it's about 7:15. We start breakfast at 7:30, another 15 minutes or so. Nice and calm and quiet. Christmas morning, and that's the sun coming up over the mountains way back east, kissing the property. This is looking towards downtown, then over to the west end. Still pretty early, not really anybody out here on the beach. It'll definitely pick up later. All right, Merry Christmas, everyone. Today we're going to do a little tour, very short tour. Okay, so of course, starting here at Travelers, and we'll probably go up maybe 2 miles, maybe. We'll see. See where the legs take us. I'm not gonna run hard at all today. Did 17 miles yesterday, so definitely taking it relaxed today. But let's get started. Start my watch, and we're going. I realized very quickly that this is probably not going to be the best footage of me running on the beach in terms of the shakiness. Because if I turn my camera around, it's going to get way more shaky. But I will stop and film where and when I can. All right, just ran up by Alfred's. It's maybe like half a mile from Travelers. Used to have a lot of live music. I still think there's live music here, but not what it once was. If those remember what it was like back in the day. But they also have like beach volleyball tournaments, or they used to at least. And I do believe that this is where they're going to be doing fireworks from on New Year's Eve. At least they used to. From that barge out there. All right, Alfred's. Let's keep it moving. All right, we're still going here. We're about a mile and a quarter in, up by Margaritaville, and looks like we're gonna hit 2 miles, so I think we will. But hold on, I'll show you exactly where we are. We got Margaritaville, and Travelers is, where's Travelers? Somewhere over there. We'll figure it out. I think it's over there. We'll figure it out. We'll keep going up. Gonna keep it moving. All right, just hit the turnaround points. We are just at Beaches, at the end of Beaches. A little over 2 miles in. Feeling good. Still pretty cool out here. The sun is like not beaming at this point, so it's pretty nice. I think it's around 7:30. I can't check my watch right now, but let me give you an idea of where we are. 1 second. So that's heading back downtown. I don't think you can see Travelers because it's on the bend, but that's where we came from. This is the rest of the beach. So you got Hedonism, then Point Village right at that tip right there, and then of course Booby Cay Island. What else is left here? You basically have Long Bay, which is a public beach. That's where Reggae Marathon ends, so which is like kind of right tucked away over there. And then after that you have Azul, then you have Boardwalk, and there's one in between, but I forget the name of it. And then after Boardwalk is Sandals, and then right next to Sandals is, so that's Sandals right there, and then right next to Sandals is Hedonism, and that pretty much is the end of the beach, so to speak, at least on the northern end. And then you go into Bloody Bay, which is the other 2 miles that I always talk about, which is where the reuse are, and can't really get over there right now. All right, I think you have to be staying over there. I feel like you can get there somehow, but I don't know how, like publicly that is. But yeah, this is Beaches. This is what we were talking about on the last live stream I did on Wednesday about their new rooms that they have here. And this is gonna be beautiful because like look what you have to look at and wake up to every morning is the ocean. It's like right there the whole time. Morning, yes. So yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful, beautiful view. I don't know which these are or what they are, but like, you know, it's Sandals. Obviously they're gonna do a marvelous world-class job with these things. Maybe we'll get a tour. You know, when it's all said and done, would love to do a tour and see what that view is like and what the rooms and everything are like. But oh wait, you can see, I guess that's like the rendition right there of what they're gonna look like. Let's go take a look real quick. Hope I'm not intruding or impeding, but I always get excited about this stuff, especially when it has to do with Negril and investing here. And like I've been saying, you know, they're obviously seeing a lot of potential and are very bullish on Jamaica and Negril, as am I. All right, a little bit of a rant, but let's get back home. All right, just stopped here at Couples, which is another very nice all-inclusive off the beach here. I believe it's adults only, but definitely couples. It's made for couples, right? And yeah, probably got a mile and a half to the end of the beach, which we're not running that way. We're actually going to be running back down this way. Got less than 20 minutes to go. I'm gonna keep it moving, but this was nice lighting, so I figured I'd stop and share. I forgot that I did a leg workout last night too, after running those 17 miles in the morning. That's really why my legs are feeling a little wobbly. Just sharing where I'm at right now. So a lot of people ask me about where a good vegan place to go is, and this is where I send everybody. Rasta Aid. I've actually never eaten here, but everybody tells me it's really, really good. This is about half a mile up from Travelers, half a mile north from Travelers. A little more than half a mile, yeah. Slightly over half a mile. But cool spot. I'll get here some point and have some food and be able to personally recommend it at some point in time. But I hear great things, great reviews. Again, everybody I send here is very happy with it. Rasta Aid. All right, back to it. And that's all she wrote. Back to Travelers. We did 41 minutes together. 4.34 miles, 4.35 miles, I should say. 9:35 per mile pace. Contemplating jumping in the water, but it's a little late. So I think that's it. I think we're gonna stretch it out, call it a day. Hope you guys enjoyed that tour, mini tour. If you like it, we can do it again. We can show off some more properties and different parts of the beach at the later time when we do this again, if you want me to do this again. But that was fun for me, nice and relaxed, no worries. Anyway, back to the regularly scheduled program. See you guys later. All right, we're back. Everything's all good. Quick action by the lifeguard and the security guard. Everything was cool. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got injured. I was like, why are they doing a bonfire in the rain? I was like, it doesn't make sense, but it's fine. They're on it. Just wanted to make sure that everything was okay. So I just want to throw on that quick commercial. You never know when you do these live streams, right? You never know what's coming up. All right. Where was I? Oh yeah, we were talking about the my transition here and just kind of just different recommendations for moving here and just kind of just being like preparing yourself, preparing your mind, and just kind of like I always say, like a big recommendation I have is like when you if you are considering to move down here is to spend an extended period of time all over, really. That's one of the main things I say is just because like you don't know what's gonna fit you best, which part of the island, even though it's one country, there are definitely very, very different feels in different parts of the island, different towns. You want to be on the beach? Do you want to be in the mountains? Do you want to be in just plush greenery? Everybody has their preference. You want to be on a farm? I know a lot of people like that. We talked with the Source Farm in St. Thomas and how they started this amazing, amazing community. So they're just very, very different ways to do Jamaica. And I would highly recommend that if you are considering moving here, even if you know Jamaica, and you're from a certain place and you grew up here, it's probably very different today than it was when you used to live here. So that's just one of my recommendations. I think that would have helped me a lot with my transition. And as the article states, like it was a very uh, almost knee jerk. I didn't put a lot of thought into it in terms of deciding to move here. And perhaps if I did, I would have probably been a little bit smarter. And I was thinking a little bit more long term, maybe during my senior year or throughout college, I would have spent a little bit more time down here because I didn't. So had a rough transition, but all good. Yeah. So that was the article. And yeah, the running was a big catalyst for this channel, and as I rightfully said, you may or may not know, like I originally was trying to be like this fitness traveling YouTuber, but yeah, nobody cared about the running. But it's all good, all good. I'm still on the journey. But yeah, just want to share that with everybody before we got further into the discussion here. The video I just showed, that was, as I stated, that was during Christmas. I did a nice little run up the beach, and I think we have another video that we just did like that, but we were driving. We haven't been able to put it together, but we captured it already. But I think it's just cool to just get like for you all out there to get just an idea. I talk a lot about like the 5 mile and the 2 mile of the beach. I talk a lot about the West End, and then I bring out the map and I show you, and I figure a better way to show you without you physically being here is to take videos and to show you that way. So we have like a drive-through coming up. I wanted to have it ready for today, but we just didn't have the time to put it together. Not hopefully, we will have that ready for next Sunday for sure, for sure. Okay, which one should we get into first? All right, let's kind of stick with technology. All right. So this next article, I'll throw it up here. It's talking about AI, and we talked about AI a lot here. We had pretty much an entire live stream dedicated to AI and VR, and also just like we were just kind of thinking during the live stream, and also with the guests that we had on. We were just thinking futuristically, like what this is going to mean for Jamaica, what this is going to mean for specific industries. And so, anyway, there was something that anyway, let's read through the article and then we can get into our own internal discussion. And so this one is, and I'll throw it in the comment section here. This one reads, Jamaicans must prepare to embrace AI, Senator Hill. Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Auburn Hill, says Jamaicans should be prepared to embrace artificial intelligence, AI, as a new phenomenon which, if properly managed, can be extremely useful. AI is the ability of a computer or computer-controlled robot to perform tasks commonly undertaken by humans. Addressing the media and business stakeholders at the two-day Outsourced to Jamaica conference at the Jewel Grand Montego Bay Resort and Spa in St. James, Senator Hill said that once policies are put in place ensuring responsible use of the technology, then there should be very little problem in maximizing it throughout society. As this new technology comes, it will provide challenges, but we're smart enough to get together to find a way to manage it. We must make sure that we put controls so that it doesn't run away from us. But what we're going to do is make sure we work with it, get smart people to identify it, and the government clearly must be there to make policies, Senator Hill said. Addressing concerns that AI could put some jobs at risk, Senator Hill noted that similar arguments were also put forward with the advent of computers. When we get computers, people said, when we got computers, people said that they were going to replace people, and what computers did was make sure a lot of young people got smarter. Some older people got to use the technology they never knew, and a whole economy grew. In fact, the last 30 to 40 years have been driven by the technology sector, he pointed out. Other participants at the outsourcing conference shared the view that AI could help Jamaicans become more productive. For Sutherland Global Outsourcing Company's boss, Claude Duncan, the effective use of AI could play an important role in increasing business efficiency. Imagine for a second that you now have AI that allows somebody without an engineering degree to do what an engineer does. So very soon, you could have someone with a diploma doing the very same work that you needed a PhD to do before, because AI makes that person able to function. It's going to help with the more complex work in one way, and the one area that will not be replaced is human interaction, he argued. The Outsource to Jamaica conference and exhibition held from May 10th to 11th brought together global experts, technocrats, government officials, multilateral agencies, industry, service providers, policy experts, and aspiring creative professionals to learn and network as they prepare for the future of the outsourcing industry. So I know we had this conversation extensively, and what I've been telling my team is to use AI every day. Like, I use it every single day, and I'm encouraging them to use it every single day as well. The last podcast that you guys watched, the Gin and Jay podcast, that was edited by AI, and you had no idea. What would normally take, I would say that podcast is, what was that? An hour and at least an hour and a half. That podcast, the one with me, Gin and Jay, and to edit that podcast would take a minimum of double that. So I would say Chad was in charge of editing. And if he were to edit it, that may have taken him 4 to 5 hours. Let's say the program edited it in 2 minutes. And like, that's no exaggeration at all. If you're in video editing, if you edited multi-camera clips or multi-camera videos, you know what it takes to go through, switch the cameras as you're going through, which you have to do a minimum of the length of the video, plus you have to start and stop and go back. And sometimes you don't have the cut that you need. And it's at, I would say, minimum double the length. And Chad was able to do it, or the AI was able to do it in 2 minutes. And that's because he doesn't even have like the most up-to-date machine. I guarantee if he had like a brand new Mac that was maxed out, it could probably do it in under a minute. And these are the things that, like, when the minister talking about like we're afraid of it taking jobs, like, it's going to take jobs. It's already doing that. But it's, to me, the most important thing is to be aware of it. And he, as the minister rightly says, is to embrace it. And so like, that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing with my team here as well, because that's a job right there. Like, that is 100% a job where you have, if like, especially like if I had this technology when I first started, oh my gosh, I would have been where I am now probably 3 years ago if I had the AI technology that can edit an edit that would take me hours upon hours to do, and do it in under a minute for sure. And so, and nobody could tell that video was done. The editing with me and Jen and Jay, podcast yesterday that we released, that was done by AI. And it's also like, I would also say, like, we can't be like in a world or the mindset that jobs aren't going to go. And if we do that, our jobs are in jeopardy. Like our certain jobs are in jeopardy. And if we do that, that's where we kind of get blindsided and we get hit with how did this happen? I mentioned this before. My friend works for a big technology company in the States, and part of a new mandate that he got was to figure out ways to use AI to essentially get rid of 20 to 30% of a particular department, let's call it. And this is I mean, and like that's crazy. And this is happening, like that conversation started a lot earlier this year. Obviously they're on the forefront of these things. Where I would say like the concern for Jamaica is, and we didn't talk about this before, is really the BPO sector, the call centers. And I don't know if those discussions are happening, but they certainly should be, because these large language learning models, which is ChatGPT, if you've experienced and you've used them, your mind has probably been blown at how good this thing is. Google just announced a suite of new AI technologies that are available to the public. One of them that I thought was really, really impressive was this. I don't know what it's called, but it's a translation AI model. So you have, like, say, a show like Succession, which is coming out tonight, the next episode, one of my favorite shows right now, and you want to show it in the Korean language. So it'll be in Korean, and normally if you just want to hear instead of reading subtitles, like we all know this, like the Chinese movies back in the day, right? The mouth would keep going, but they wouldn't line up with what you're hearing. Now what they do, because of the AI technology, they're able to line up the mouth with what is being said. And like that's crazy to me. Now let's bring that over to voice. And so instead of calling down, whatever call center it is and speaking to, say, a Jamaican who has a job here in Jamaica, and you're calling from the United States to, say, get some customer care help, now you're speaking to a robot and you cannot even tell the difference. You can't tell the difference, which is, we're very much, if we're not there, we are very close to that. And that is going to, that's gonna disrupt that sector. And that, I don't think that that's gonna happen like oh, that's gonna be in 10 years from now. It's moving so quickly, and I'm not trying to scare people or anything like that. It's more so like these discussions need to be had, and to say like, oh, that's not gonna happen, we don't have anything to worry about, that would be, I think that would be very silly. That would be very, very silly. So this is definitely something that I'm sure, I would assume that the government is thinking about, because we have invested in and attracted so many of these sectors to Jamaica, and they have done wonders for our job market, for sure. So I just hope there is, and assume that there is, some sort of plan in place to maybe circumvent this in a way of attracting other industries here, or maybe like the senator said, using AI to create jobs. Because what it also does is, like, going back to the example with Thought Media and Chad and the edit, and taking something that would take a human 3 to 4 hours to do, and they able to do it in 2 minutes, let's say. What that does for Chad, now now he can do another one and do another one. So it frees up his time so much, and he's able to work on other projects and other things that need to get done. And he's bringing so much more value to the table and to the company. And now he has time perhaps to go and learn another skill, or to add value to the company in another way, and add value to the team in another way. Maybe he can go and help our other editor, Ramon, on another project that he's doing. So I think it's good, but it's also something that we have to be mindful of, and we can't be naive about the disruptive nature of it and the impact that it's going to have, I think, in a big way pretty soon. Let's hop over to the comments real quick, and then we'll get into the next article. Hey, Suzette, thanks for joining. Benjamin says, Jamaica is so beautiful. I can't wait till I manage to come visit there. Hopefully soon. I hope so too. Fiona, hello. Happy Sunday to you as well. What's going on, Deco? Fiona says, Happy Sunday and Happy Mother's Day to everyone in the chat who is a mother, one form or another. Deco says, I would just want to be in the mountains and valley is the better place in Jamaica. The beach is cool too, but the river more. I like a good river. Deco Lord says, what they fail to understand this time is way definitely like the computer, way different from the computer and just came out. Compare that to the 80s. It's a joke. Yeah, this is, yeah, I agree with you on that, Deco. It's like, it's not the same thing as this is just not. Um, this is not like, you know, a lateral step in like our iterative step in, and like this is a quantum leap. This is very, very different from computers coming in the 70s, 80s, or whatever it is. And oof, it's just simply not. This thing is like, this is brand new, like within a couple of months, with the last few months, I should say. And the impact that's already having immediately. I mean, we already talked about the last time we talked about this, the one of the founders of Google coming back into coding and into Google and working and coming to the office every day because he understood the impact that AI is going to have on the world. Like, this is unlike anything that we've ever dealt with before. And I agree. I don't think that is a comparable comparison to the computers coming out back in the day. I am what I am says, judging from the ads on your search feed, AI is using you every day as well. 100%, 100%. Copeland Russell, AI is great, but we have to be very wise using it. Agreed. Deco says, AI learning so fast right now, it's even Elon Musk got scared. Yeah, he said he literally was quoted as saying AI is probably the biggest danger to human existence. I'm almost certain that's what he was quoted as saying. Chantel says, I love the idea of using AI responsibly and for productivity, and we should learn a bit of coding to help make sure we don't make our roles completely obsolete in the future. And that could be, you know, and again, to think that like our jobs and our roles, like you said, Chantel, could not be obsolete at some point in time. I mean, we can't think of it that way. And it's just embrace it and use it, learn how can you add value. One of the things, and I want to show this example if I can get it from with me and my brother. So like a new job they have is an AI prompter. And so if you really know what you're doing and you know how to prompt, you can do like, I mean, the results you get are going to be very different for me than somebody who knows what they're doing. And a good example was really was my brother. I'm going to try to see if I could find an example that he did, but he used this tool called Midjourney. He did a bunch of different things in there, but Midjourney is essentially an AI tool that you type in, and we use this live. We did live examples, but you basically type in what you want to see a picture of, and based on the prompt that you give it, it spits out whatever it is that it thinks you're looking for. And there is just a very huge difference in what I was able to produce and what my brother was able to produce, because he knows what he's doing. Like, so my brother is a tech guy. He can code. He's a photographer. He's a videographer. He's good at marketing. And so because he already has these, I don't know if you want to call them baseline skills, but he has like a multitude of skills that can be inputted, so to speak. I don't think I'm going to find it. That can be inputted into the prompt. He's become very good at the at the results that he gets. And so actually I just found it. I can actually hopefully I can upload this. Let's see if I can get this up quickly and show you an example. I'm just going to show you my examples. I don't think mine were that bad, but when you compare it to somebody that really knows what they're doing, there's no comparison. So let's just bring up mine real quick. So this is what I created using Midjourney. If you all were on the live the last few weeks, you've already seen this, so I won't spend too much time on it. But I created this little girl literally through typing in different prompts on Midjourney AI tool. It's another one. Got a coconut. I think this is the first one that I created, and I obviously have no artistic, maybe not obviously, but I don't have any artistic skills whatsoever. And a couple more there. And mind you, when we talk about like the rights to these images, like I own them. They're mine. I created them. And somebody even asked me that they would like to buy them and pay and they want to blow them up, and you can download high resolution versions so you can actually have them as pictures if you want to. Crazy. All right, so those are my examples. Now let's get to my brothers, and we can see the very, very big difference, I think, in what can be created. So I'm going to take your comment down here, Chantel. And so that's one that my brother created, which is like crazy. That looks like a real that's a fake person. That person does not exist. I'll give you another one. I think this is amazing. Like this is just blows me away that you can put these prompts and words into a computer and like it generates these people that don't exist. And obviously he's a lot better at this than I am. Again, I guess to the article's point, you need that human input at least right now, but it doesn't take any skill. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. It doesn't take any artistic skill to do it, because obviously, like I showed my example and what I can do, and if you look at mine, yeah, it's okay, it's cool, but it does not compare to what my brother did, because he is skillful at this, and like that's a new job that has been created, a prompter. So if you understand how AI works and you understand what, say, a client is looking for as far as like an image, and it doesn't have to be image, it could be a document. We talked about using Chat GPT, and you understand what they're looking for and what they're asking for, and you can, in your brain and how you put these inputs into the computer, you can get it to spit out something that you may not have ever been able to create. You're going to be very, very valuable to that company, or maybe to your own company. All right, spent way too much time on that, but let's keep going through the comments here. The Empath says, AI will never replace the ability to empathize. If that's the case, no job is safe. Chantel says, however, Dr. Hinton, the godfather AI, good point, left Google because he's afraid of how far out of control AI will go. There's someone that made a fake record using the voice of popular artists. Yeah, we talked about that as well. Like crazy stuff going on. The music industry is going to have a big problem with that. They already do have a big problem with that. I'm in like these Reddit groups, and these kids, these guys, I don't know who they are, but they're making like all this fake music with artists that aren't there, and it sounds just like them, and it's good music. It's really, really good music. It's so crazy. Copeland Russell says AI is great, but we have to be very wise using it. Yes, I definitely. Jeko says, I think all the young people in JA learn how to trade at this point because most of the jobs will go, we know, for learn a trade because they will go for certain job will be there, but still AI will have a big role in the workplace. Chantel says people who didn't know it was AI created couldn't tell the difference. So we also should be aware of the advanced deepfakes. Absolutely, absolutely. Ingrid, welcome. Xlaw says Midjourney is great, but I agree with you that the quality of the image depends on the quality of your prompts. Absolutely, absolutely. Xlaw says I also noticed that Midjourney / Discord has some significant biases. I tried to generate an image of an African leading an army of Europeans. The bot refused to generate the image, then flagged my prompt. Yes, I will say that as well. So like, even if you do, like, the only time, like, most of the prompts that I was getting, like when I was doing pictures, it was just like all like I did couple on the beach, all white people. Like, you have to be specific. Like, if I didn't put in, and then also it kind of goes on the other side. Like, if I put in like couple on the beach Jamaica, all you get is black people. You have to be specific. You have to be specific with what's going on, and if you don't ask for it, and then to your point, X Law, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy that has also been your experience. But it's and that's also another concern, that the AI models that are out there, it's built on the systems in the real world. So you know this specifically in like the systemic racism that exists in the United States, and we already have issues in technology, and in all throughout a society in America. The concern is, and I wouldn't even say it's a concern, I think the reality is like that's going to be brought over into the AI VR future world, and the programmers of the technology, purposefully or unpurposefully, those biases are going to be inputted in there as well. We see it also in YouTube and the YouTube world of just not enough representation, and there was this feeling that specifically colored and black creators are being suppressed, are not being pushed out there as much as other creators. So it's something that very much is talked about in the YouTube world. Joe says that looks like real people. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Kayon says my concern with AI is the lack of regulations to help monitor AI. It doesn't cause harm. Already criminals are using it on their scams. Yeah, I heard a lot of stories with that. Jay Fitz asks, what is the name of the AI software using to create the pictures? It's Midjourney. So if you're familiar with Discord, you have to sign up for Midjourney through Discord. I'd recommend like just do like go through YouTube and just type in Midjourney or Discord, and you can find videos and it'll teach you how to use it. And then experiment. You got to use these tools, figure it out, and that's how you get good at it. T says, can empathize already? I saw a condolence letter that brought tears to my eyes. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. All right, let's get to the next article. Sticking with technology here. I think, hold on. Okay. All right, so this one is from the Jamaica Observer. Are you ready to? I got it there on the screen, and then I'll also throw it in the comment section for you if you want to read along. A little lengthy. I'm going to read through it quickly, so sorry for the speed reading here, but I rather get to the discussion as quick as we can. All right, again, are you ready to go cashless? And this was written by Cody Ann Barrett, senior business reporter at the Jamaica Observer. Excuse me. Jamaica's potential to become a cashless society is determined by an ecosystem requiring all efforts from the government, businesses, and consumers, according to one technology expert. Dushyant Savadi, CEO of Amber Group, a technology conglomerate and creator of digital payment system Amber Pay, says Jamaica is heading in the right direction, but adds that it will require interest, desire, and discipline from all three stakeholders to work. It's a holistic effort that we all need to make together. We can't point fingers at government or businesses or consumers. It's ecosystem of all the three that will make us cashless and sooner. And the sooner we are, the lesser the crime, the more the profits, the more the sustainability of growth. And the world will look at us and say, yeah, we want to do business in Jamaica, said Savidia in an interview with the Jamaica Observer. Savidia, however, argues that the society is to become cashless, that if the society is to become cashless, then the conditions to facilitate cashless transactions must be present and ubiquitous. If we create the need, businesses will have no choice. If I stop carrying cash to businesses and say I'm paying by card, soon the business will realize it's losing customers because it will not be willing to go digital, he explained. Then, as far as the government, he said that it has to digitize its transactions with the public. They're not there yet. In most cases, you still have to line up in a queue to do anything, Savidia says. Going cashless. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, a cashless society is one in which cash in the form of the physical banknotes and coins is not accepted in any financial transaction. Instead, people and businesses transfer money to one another digitally via credit card or debit card, electronic money transfers, cryptocurrency, or online and mobile payment services. Data from the World Bank show Norway is the European country closest to a cashless future. Nearly all Norwegians own a debit card, approximately 98%, and over 95% of the population use mobile payment apps. Together, they result in Norway having one of the lowest physical cash rates in the world, with only 3% to 5% of transactions paid by cash. A study conducted by MasterCard in 2016 revealed that almost 80% of all transactions conducted in Jamaica are done using cash. To assess Jamaica's advancement since then, with the use of above-mentioned digital payment options, the Business Observer consulted the Bank of Jamaica's BOJ 2022 annual report. It revealed that the number of debit cards in circulation increased by 10.7% to 4.9 million last year, well above the estimated 2.8 million people who live in Jamaica. However, the number of credit cards in circulation were significantly lower at 385,655 through the increased 7%. Okay, gotcha. All right, sorry, we're making an adjustment here, guys. Okay. Increased to 7.3% over 2021 figure. As the number of payment cards in circulation continue to grow, more transactions are being done using those methods with physical cash. Bank of Jamaica data show that the total through 233.7 billion of currency in circulation at the end of 2022, 233.4 billion were in physical cash, being banknotes and coins, and other 300,000 dollars being digital currency, Jamdex. But utilization of the electronic retail payment systems increased in 2022, with the total volume of retail payment transactions processed during 2022 amounting to 141.6 million, valued at 4.79 trillion, up 15% from the prior year. But other digital payment methods have been received slower. According to John Matthew Sinclair, Chief Product Officer of Jamaica's leading mobile payment Link LYNK, the platform has 210,000 users, but that is mostly because it is relatively new compared to ATMs and POS machines. Merchants need more payment solutions also, and unfortunately, we have not really gotten there yet, where a single merchant on his smartphone without any point of sale anything can fully trade online and receive payments instantly through his smartphone, he said. For the digital payment methods available, he believes merchants and consumers need to start adopting them in order for Jamaica to become cashless. He noted that merchants are still afraid of the visibility of transactions and the fear of being exposed to the risk of fraud. Additionally, he says cash is widely accepted because merchants prefer the means of payment due to the fees attached to some digital transactions. The moment you transact, there's a 4% or 5% fee that is gone to the banks or the fintech company providing that financial solution, the money is gone, Savidia said. Merchants who spoke to Business Observer confirmed Savidia's theory. Denise, a hat vendor in Central Plaza Halfway Tree, St. Andrew, said she once acquired a POS machine that was offered on a promotion. However, when she calculated the fees to operate the machine, she decided it would not be best for her fit for her. Excuse me. If is the only 3 customers spend with me for every transaction that I do, I have to pay for it, and I have to pay monthly fee and a yearly fee, and all them things add up, she said. A similar view is shared by a taxi operator in Kingston, Jardine Oliphant. It would be basically cost me more to operate the POS machine than I would be making. For most POS machines, a fee is charged for every transaction, and that's why some places set a minimum amount for which you can use a POS. He said, if you were to be convinced to use the digital payment methods in his taxi, Oliphant said the payment would have to be over the current minimum fare of the taxi route for a route taxis, which is $150 to $200 per trip. Ashley, a meat vendor in the Crossroads Market in St. Andrew, said he has no desire to go cashless. I don't want when I take people the meat and sell it here and take their payments, the digital means, then I hear no money was uploaded to my account when I call the bank. I'm more comfortable collecting my $2 and spend it back my dollar. She said, Ashley, he added, even in the future, he would not like to go cashless. So, yeah, that was I think so. My thinking on a quote unquote cashless society, it like the gentleman says, oh, the CEO of Amber, it has to be a ubiquitous thing. I know they try to do that in I feel like they tried to do it in New York, but that became illegal because, and I don't think, and I stand to be corrected here. I don't think you can be a business in New York and be a credit card only because it marginalizes poor people. Because I don't remember what the percentage is, but not everybody has a bank account. Not everybody has the means to go into a bank and put money there. And when I say the means, like the understanding, and so you can't do that. I remember I feel like they were trying to get rid of coins and they couldn't do that. But anyway, this is something that I would say that I am concerned about with going this route, and I just hope that all of this is being taken into consideration. I do think we are going to get there at some point in time. And I've talked about Norway so many times here on the channel because I've been there a few times. And hold on one second. Yeah, I've been to Norway so many times, and like I've said before, I went there in 2013, and I just remember thinking like, man, this is the future. Like this is crazy how advanced they are with their payments, and they were paying with their phones in 2013. They were doing the wireless tap with their cards, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like and you know how we use Venmo now. Like if a bunch of friends go out and they split the bill, you're able to split on Venmo. They were able to do that with their phones and bank accounts directly in 2013. And like I feel like we just got this maybe 5 years ago, and it kind of just became part of our society. So they were very, very advanced in that regard. So it's interesting the article is using Norway as that example. I do think, and the example that they were using for these vendors, I do think that if you get to a point where you can use your phone, you tap it, they get their money, at least from your account on your phone to their account on their phone, and it's in a trusted system. I think that's so good for those vendors and for those businesses. But it can't be at a 4 to 5% cost of their sales. That's just too high. And I understand that. It would have to be extremely low where they couldn't feel it, and the companies that provide this technology, or maybe it's done by government, they would make their money, so to speak, on volume. So maybe it's cents, like in terms of maybe it's like 5 cents or 10 cents per transaction or something like that. um but who knows, who knows, like there's I guess there's a way. We have to get there. I also think to Japan, right? Like this very technologically advanced society, but they're also very, very traditional in so many ways. Very, very traditional in so many ways. And one of them is their physical cash. And that is still huge in Japan. And everybody carries, I forget what they're called, but they're basically little like money pouches with their coins, and everybody has like these coin purses, and they keep their physical cash there, and they pay. And many people, I think most, I forget the percentage, but like most of their society pays for things. A large percentage of the society, I won't say most, a large percentage of their society pays for items in cash, even though, like, again, they're this very advanced society. So, that's my quick take on that article. Let's go over to the comments here. God knows says the beach does not look good anymore. Last time I went there, it was very dirty. Was it? Looks pretty good to me. I'm here right now. Looks amazing. I went for a swim here this morning after my run. Absolutely beautiful. Maybe where you're staying, they didn't clean up. I don't know. I ran the beach this morning too. I did about 4 miles. It was pristine, and I'm that's objectively speaking. It was very, very nice. Well, I loved it. I mean, try to be objective, but I'm obviously biased. But living here, but it is a nice beach, and I think it's a very beautiful beach. Marlon Rose Mighty says, great opportunity to check if Throp CNW article was AI generated. Good idea. That's funny. Could be. Orange says, I don't think you can fully fully cashless. Most people will choose not to use cash as a method of payment. For example, I do everything online, but the orders elders do not understand online. They must be considered. Absolutely. Sorry about that. Yeah, definitely. We need to consider all people of society, the less fortunate, seniors in our society as well. All of this has to be seamless and has to include all parties. Deco says we already have a cashless society in some sense because we have credit cards, Google Pay, Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, along with Bitcoin. So I think the main thing is, like, they were talking about theft and like um, maybe armed robberies, and so there would be less of a concern with that, right? With going cashless. Yeah, and you're right. We do have all of these great tools to use, but it's not as adapted here. I think I didn't. Oh, I didn't do the example, but we take Apple Pay here now at Traveler, which I think is great. So yeah, you can just come, tap your phone, and pay for your meals down here at the restaurant. So I think that's really, really good. And then from a business perspective, we love it, because the accountability is there. With cash, I remember, like, with cash, you have a lot to worry about. Put it that way. With cash, you have a lot to worry about with any business. So with any business that you're there, much easier on accounting, much easier on the accounting department. I mean, imagine, like, I'm just thinking from when I used to run the hotel, like if I just had the inputs from our POS system, I just need to align that with sales instead of like counting cash, putting that in, like blah 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 blah, and I just had a spreadsheet with that there at the end of every shift. Beautiful thing, beautiful thing. T says some countries in Africa are cashless, even the smallest vendors. I just don't feel confident without cash. I know what you mean. XLR says we need diversity in bartering instruments. Cashless is a trap. The security infrastructure is not there yet for most technologically advanced country, much less for desolate countries, developing countries. Got you. Okay. Lord says they should give people the option instead of going fully cashless. I mean, we'll see how they transition. Like I said, I think it could be really good for small businesses if it's adapted in totality by society. T said there's no confidence in banking, plus people avoiding taxes don't want it. There you go. Aaron says also it should be cheaper to be cashless, but why does the bank charge so much for transactions? Charge of POS devices, charge for debit cards, deposit fees, wire transfers fees, intermediary bank fees. Yeah, a lot of bank charges. And it's on both sides. It's on both sides, on the consumer side, and then also on the business side. Doshido says Throp is brilliant. He is Jamaica's ambassador to positivity. Thank you very much. Doshido says think of a country people being cashless going to take time. Definitely going to take some time. Definitely going to take some time. Jay Fitz says, I just returned from New Jersey yesterday attending my son's graduation at Rutgers. When I checked into the hotel, they told me they did not accept cash. I know it's not New York, but New Jersey is not too far away. That's interesting. I mean, that's the way things are going. But again, I really do think like it marginalizes. I think it marginalizes people at this time. And I forget what it was. Like my friend told me it was a high percentage of people that in New York that don't have a bank account. Interesting. Dosey says, how does the septic system work these days? How are water samples on the beach? This should be a priority. Without clean beaches and water, you have nothing control growth or else. So part of our beach license requirement is to do like testing of our water. Um, and like this company has to come in. It's like kind of annoying and it just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't even know if I should be saying this, but we have to do this sampling for our water, and like every property with a beach license has to do it. But I'm like, why does every property? I don't know if they do this still, but like, like why does Travelers have to do it, and then say Beach Club next door they have to do it? What's the difference between our water and their water? It's like the same thing. I don't know, but my point is that water sampling is conducted. If that is a concern, and it's done very tediously, and perhaps there are good reasons for doing it, and like in such not small quantities, but like so frequently along the beach. I don't know, but it's being done. HB says, "Hey, Throp and everyone. I don't like to be boxed in. Give people options. Fair enough." Forever says container homes. I heard only last 30 years. I'll pass. Okay, we're about to get into that in a second. Ebony X says I pay bills online, but I keep cash to pay maintenance guys and for small purchases. Cool. So we're trying to get the camera working. The outside camera, that is. Nope, not working. Chat. Okay, we're good to go. There we go. And like I said, beach is pretty beautiful. Okay, let's get into. We got a couple more articles, but I know a lot of people here for the container situation, so let's get into that. So let's do a couple of articles here. to build some context, and then we'll watch a video. It's a 10-minute video, but I think it's a good one by another YouTuber. All right, so this is an article, Jamaica Observer, container homes for sale. Kingston Logistics Center Limited KLC has demonstrated yet another innovative way to use its shipping containers with the introduction of prefabricated container homes, which are now available for sale. On Wednesday, the company launched its upcycled container homes at Newport West in Kingston, with model home on show. The Jamaica Observer toured the newly constructed two-bedroom model home dubbed the Madonna, valued at $8.5 million. The Madonna, and it's Moddonna, Moddonna, the Moddonna, consists of a combination of two shipping containers, a 20-foot and a 40-foot cube container, and is designed with a roof, front porch, kitchen, living space, and bathroom with a coverage area of 480 square feet. Though the space is small, they are just enough house to make it home, and it is pitched as the perfect starter home for middle income earners. KLC currently offers six types of homes, from one bedroom to three bedrooms, with price tags ranging anywhere from $2.5 million to $12.5 million. Marketing and business development manager KLC Shireen Forbes explained the Caribbean Business Report that they determine the cost based on the market. We want to ensure that we also factored in our inflationary rate and basically what we think the market would be ready and willing to take. It's a new product, so the market will ultimately decide whether they receive it or we will have to adjust. But really, that's where we're starting, she said. KLC Managing Director Keisha Williams-Hare further sought to explain that the price point is flexible, as homeowners can start with a smaller unit and slowly expand as they grow with the addition of as many container units as they see fit in time. A container is like a Lego toy. You can add as you go. You have a 40-foot container. You say, all I can afford is a studio, and you put a bathroom next year. You you put a bathroom next year. You might get some money. You take another 40-foot container, and we can open it out for you. So this is creating that square footage, so you can add as you go, she said enthusiastically. Container homes, though a new venture for KLC, is not new locally, considering a handful of the population had already begun using shipping containers to create unique living and working spaces, an observation that KLC noted and decided to make it official and not leave the upcycling of containers as a project for Jamaicans. While people have been doing it, they have the capabilities and experience. It was never really offered as an official house before. As a company offering it the general market at the level and this scale, we do not have that in Jamaica, Forbes told Caribbean Business Report. With the container homes market project projected to grow to 87.1 billion by 2029, and KLC being no stranger to modifying containers for commercial use, Forbes said it was only a natural progression to encapsulate container housing and the offering to become a turnkey housing solution. While sharing the reservations Jamaicans may have about container homes, KLC Managing Director says in order for container homes to become a more normal housing option, it will require a shift in Jamaicans' cultural mindset, because it will also provide an opportunity to help address Jamaica's housing challenge. Jamaicans have a stigma about containers. We are a block and steel country, but we want to show that there are alternatives to housing solutions. It's big in Europe and in the United States. Why not here, Williams-Hare asked rhetorically. She further explained that one of the biggest reservations is that it looks too much like a container, which is why the company decided to renovate the containers to display its potential to the market. The next step is securing financial assistance through the NHT, National Housing Trust. I'm hoping that this event will really show them, NHT, that the container homes is an option. I would love it to be part of what you call get your own home in the 7.5, she said optimistically. Currently, anyone interested in purchasing a container home can only access funding from NHD through its build on your own land mortgage option. KLC have partnered with alternative power sources to offer solar powered electricity on all its units and in support of its mission of promoting a greener, more sustainable way of living. You can put one of these homes in an area where there is no electricity and you need electrical power. And for that reason, we have installed a solar system here and have partnered with them, KLC, and Future Homes to put a solar system in those homes. The managing director of Alternative Power Sources, Damian Lynn, informed the Caribbean Business Report. He explained that because container homes are mobile units, the need for solar is necessary. The cost for solar power starts at 1.5 million and can be increased over time with the growth of the size of the container home. Individuals who purchase KLC container home will receive a 30 to 50% discount on starter packages for solar installations. Kingston Logistics Center has also partnered with Quartz Jamaica Limited, Elegant Creative Glass, Stephen Jones Landscaping, and SIJE Property Services and Realtors Association of Jamaica to offer discounts for potential buyers to outfit their home with all the needed resources and accessories. KLC is eyeing the business prospect to build an entire housing scheme made entirely out of container homes. I think that would be pretty awesome. All right, so that's the container home. We got want to watch this video real quick. I'm just checking the comments. All right, so let's watch this video real quick. So this is from a Jamaican YouTuber. I hope I don't get demonetized for this. I never did this before, but we'll see if we don't get taken down. But I think she did. It's about 10 minutes, but she did, I think, a really, really excellent job. And this is directly related to the article that we just read. And I think it's so good how she did this video and explains it. And I'll let the video speak for itself. So if you're just listening, if you want to come over to your TV or your device so you can see this, and I'll also put this in the chat here. So this is Kayla K. Keen, and subscribe to our channel. We're watching her video here, so why not support her? And we found this is the first time I've heard of her, and so we are going to share this video somehow. There we go. Okay, gotcha. All right, so we're gonna start it. It's just over 10 minutes, and we'll watch it. We'll watch it together, and then we can discuss.
Hello, future millionaires, and welcome back to my channel. I am Kayla K. Keen, and in this video, I am showing you something that I've never covered before, a container home here in Jamaica. Now, the Kingston Logistics Center has pioneered something totally amazing that you normally see in other countries, North American countries, but never here in Jamaica. So traditionally, we use containers for office spaces, but not housing. So they have built some houses from container and you can benefit from that. It's right behind me. So follow me inside while we take a look around. All right, so we're going to take a look at the Ultra unit, which is a 2-container home, a 40-foot and a 20-foot container. It has 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. Let's take a look. So we're on the patio now. So as you can see, it's a good enough design. The space is actually pretty good because I was thinking small. Every time I think of a container home, I think small.
No, well, we have 6 designs. So you have a wide cross section between the prices as well as the space that you're getting. You have
Right.
the ultra options, which gives you more space, more rooms, and also you have the standard options, which may not give you as much space and rooms. However, all of them come with the insulation, with the tiling. They're all still nice. They still come with the cladding on the outside, so that even though you're buying a container home, it still is dignified. It still has that ultra chic look and feel.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like you're in any kind of a trailer trash kind of situation.
Right.
That is not what KLC Upcycled Container Homes about. It's about dignified living and unboxing the dreams of our Jamaicans. Faster, easier, and smarter. And glass windows have been provided.
I have to test it out.
Yes, test it. The furniture is provided by Coach Jamaica Limited. They are our strategic corporate partners for this initiative. And also the railings, glass, and doors provided by Elegant Windows and Glass.
Right.
Our landscaping is provided by Stephen Jones Landscaping. And one other corporate partner that we have is Alternative Power, who offers solar power. So this unit is actually solar.
Fully solar.
Not most of the appliances are solar. It gives you an option. The cost of 8.5 for this unit doesn't include the solar, but if you wanted solar, you would be getting a special price. So all of our partners is offering a special container homes special for persons who are making.
Yes, so they'll help you to outfit it.
Right.
Nice.
So for courts here, everything that you're seeing is courts furniture. This is the entranceway to the living area. You're seeing where you could have a dining space and a kitchen area. A refrigerator would have been here.
Right.
And your stove, there's a section for your microwave as well. And it's, well, I'll leave it to you to decide.
Yeah.
I'm of the impression that it's decent space.
It is. Yes. It is.
So,
and you have your windows and things that are meshed.
And as well as a nice backdrop.
Oh, sorry guys. I'm just relaxing in the living room. So this is the space that you have. As you can see, it holds a recliner. So it might be able to hold a nice L-shaped couch. So this is the opportunity that this unit provides you. As you can see, you have your console and a television set. So this is what you and your family will enjoy if you choose one of these units.
Then this is the main bedroom.
So this is the main bedroom, guys. Come and let us look at it. All right, so as you can see, the bedroom has space. This is a queen bed, so there is space, and we have space for sitting around here. But not only that, you have your traditional windows and as well as your closet. So you have space to store your clothing and things like that. So you can tell me how you feel about it in the comment section. Tell me if this looks like the solution that you've been waiting on. As you heard earlier, it's cheaper, way more affordable than a traditional home. So let me know. And it's actually it's not very hot. I thought that it would be very hot also. If you look also, you have your recessed lighting in the ceiling, and the ceiling is quite high also. So that is something for you to think about. We're now going to look at the second bedroom because it's a 2-bedroom unit, and then we look at the other parts of the house. So we're inside of the second bedroom, which is a kid's bedroom. As you can see, you have a child's bed, but it also has space for a bunk bed. There is a toy box here, so you can store away your children's toy in this ottoman. The ottoman can also act as a tray, as you can see, so it's functional, and that is the type of furnishing that you need for homes that are traditionally smaller. So as you can see, you have your functional furniture, which is amazing. There is also space to store your children's book and whatever other items you want to have here. If you look to this side, there's a closet. Currently, it is being used to store the generator for the alternative power. However, in the homes, this will be a closet for your children. So this part of the unit can go on the outside. So this is what the space offers. And even though I said it's a kid's room, of course, adults could occupy this space. It's just how you utilize the space. So we're almost at the end of the ultra tour, right? But I have an idea for you. So this area that is currently being used as the patio, because maybe you're watching and you're saying it's not enough space for your family, what you could actually do is enclose this area and voila, you have a third bedroom. So that's something for you to think about. What we're going to do now is to look at how you can use containers as your office space. But before we do that, if you need even more space than I just suggested, guess what? You can simply add another 20 or 40-foot container. So there you have it, a solution to your problem maybe? Tell me in the comment section. But in the meantime, let's go look at the office space. So we're now looking at a space that you could use for your office. Let's go inside and see how it looks. So of course, you have the entranceway that is made of wood to give you a nice rustic vibe. And then now we're inside of the office. So this is a 20-foot container. So you can imagine the amount of space that you have on the inside. So you can envision setting up your office desk here and computers. Maybe you could put your visitor's chair over here. There is so much that you can do with the space. If you want to have a little refrigerator and enclose that little area, that can be done. So the possibilities are endless. It's just for you to use your imagination and decide what you want to do with the space. Thank you so much for watching Future Millionaires. Remember to tell me how you feel about these houses in the comment section, as well as visit my description box where I have all the information for you as it relates to prices and how you could own one of these homes. Remember to like the video, subscribe, share it with a friend, and do not move. There's another interesting video just for you.
All right. Thank you, Kayla. Appreciate that. So yeah, let's show her some love over on her channel. You guys can subscribe if you'd like to hers. I thought she did an excellent job and gives us more context to have our discussion here. So I see some people that are not so enthusiastic about the container life and the container living. I think it's like, so me personally, I think it's a great idea to, and we got to think widely. Don't think about ourselves. Don't think about ourselves in the sense of where we are now or what we want to do and what we want to achieve and how we want to live. But think about people, particularly Jamaicans, who may be living in extreme poverty, or maybe they're living in on their friend's couch, or they may be living in their friend's extra bedroom or something like that, and they don't have something that they can call their own, that is their home, or maybe they're not too proud. Now, if you go from and you think if you're a person going from that, and let's do the extreme poverty example, to having one of these well-designed container homes like literally in an instant. You know, you get the bank loan. Hopefully, at some point, NHT can take this on, and you get the loan, and you have this nicely designed, nicely decorated place that you can call your home, turnkey. I think it's huge. And now think of, as the article was saying that we read earlier, if you did an entire development with that. I think this is great. You can't even tell. It's so difficult to tell from the video and some of the pictures that I have here that that's even a container, that was a container. And like the article says, or the video says, is like, and the article says, like, we have to think about housing containers in a different way. And it's really changing the way we think about it. And I'm going to show the video in a second. I just want to have a discussion, but like I compare it to, say, if you look at the new our cottages, our new bungalows, if you will, that we created here at Travelers. We started out Travelers with one of those wooden bungalows, and they are great. They did their time. In many ways, this was what put me to school and through college, and now we've upgraded them. They still have their same structure on the outside, but we've converted them from bungalows to now the new cottages, if you will. And I look at it, and I spent some time in there a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, man, I could like live here. That's how comfortable it is. It's a very small place for I would say for somebody who lived there, but if it was like a starter place, maybe making it a little bit wider, and a little bit bigger. I mean, is a very, very, very comfortable place to live. Not just to come on vacation. And I'm not saying that it's because it's mine and it's newly designed, but like I just put myself in perspective. I'm like, man, could we bring this to the masses? And to me, the container is bigger than that. The 20, I think it's 40 foot by 8 feet. I feel like a container is. I could be wrong on that. Whatever it is, I think that's huge. I think that's huge. And in many ways in this video, you can see that the designer of the container inside and out put a lot of thought into that. So we get into the comments here, and we can take it from there. Chantel says, I think if we especially make sure it can stand up to hurricanes, many people would be more interested. And I think if people go and visit them and go inside, I'm like, okay, this is not what I thought it was. I also think the hurricanes, I had the same question. So I believe, like, if they're on the ground, I think it would be fine. Obviously, and then maybe even if you put it on a base and you had it further grounded, right? Now going up to the second floor, third floor, fourth floor, because there's another property here called, oh man, Beach Bunny. It's about a couple of doors down, going north of the beach, and they're a business that has, I believe, 3 stories of containers, 2 or 3, I can't remember, 2 to 3, and we, thank God, knock on wood, we haven't gone through a hurricane since they've been in business, but I would say one grounded container I think would be fine. 2, maybe 3. I don't know. I don't know. But I guess it all depends on like how it's put together. And like the article says, like they can be expanded like Legos. But good question, Chantel. I missed your earlier comment. I love the idea of container homes in Jamaica. My big concern is the heat and it would extend of hurricanes. Yeah, the heat too. I mean, the outside of those containers are not the metal, so it's not attracting just from the video. So I don't see how it would, and I'm sure you can do something with the insulation, the colors on the outside, also what materials you put on the outside to help reflect the sun. But good questions, good thoughts. Copeland Russell says, very beautiful. This could solve the housing problem in Jamaica. I think so too. I think we need to be a little bit more open-minded. Let's see, let's test it out, so to speak. I think people are would really like these. Let's do. I think the housing development they have coming on, that they were talking about doing. I think that is a great way to see if this can work on a larger scale. T says, saw this video. The prices don't include the roof. They are deceptive on the marketing. Interesting. I didn't know that. Let's go a little bit further down. T has the same concern. They definitely stand up. T says they definitely stand up to hurricanes, but not the heat. I think the dome house is 1,000 times better. Yeah, from what we did an interview with the gentleman from the Source Farm, and he made the earth bag domes. And yeah, I could even they looked cool, just like they look cool, and then they look cool in temperature, right? And so I could see that very different, from the container, and obviously more natural. MPK. I've been researching about living in Jamaica. Hope you make it happen. Ebony X says trailer homes is also something they should consider. T says, why don't people like louver window anymore? I couldn't live without them. I mean, yeah, okay. So Chantel is addressing that. It says, don't offer noise reduction in my experience. Also, not energy efficient and let in plenty of heat. Yes. So like same thing with us. Our bungalows started with louver windows. Granted, they were fan cooled, but even our standard rooms and our superior rooms, they have louver windows. And for these exact reasons, we're switching them out. So we're putting in windows because those rooms, they have AC. Then we have a mesh on the outside to keep the mosquitoes out. Obviously, that's another big thing, is like protecting the rooms from mosquitoes. With the louver, even with that, you have to constantly replace the mesh. Just because you leave it there, people poke their fingers, kids, whatever. And so like it's a maintenance issue. But now if you have a glass window that's sealed, you got good AC, good insulation, more energy efficient. Also the noise as well, especially being a hotel. Like, we understand the quality of sleep is very, very important to people and a big part of the experience of being on vacation. So to us, that's also a big reason why we are going to be switching out. And maybe the same thing would be with you if you're in your home. Shayna says, I like the idea of using it as an office space. I think it would be great office space. Deco says, Chantel, facts, but AC, that all. I remember being in a container library all day, and it wasn't feel hot because it had AC. Gotcha. They use, Ebony X says, they use containers in some NYC schools for extra classrooms. She says it's nothing to be ashamed of. Everyone needs their own space. So I forgot to mention this. We worked with this is my family's nonprofit organization, the Negril Education Environment Trust. And we worked with the Environmental Foundation of Jamaica, and we got a series of these grants from them to build these container libraries. So we were able to build 20 libraries. Many of them were container libraries throughout the island, and a lot of schools didn't have libraries. But again, to my earlier point, it was very quick turnkey. We were able to get the container, outfit them, AC, cut windows, cut doors, and like in an instant, a school had a library that they didn't have before. We had the books because we're a nonprofit organization. We also provided the computers as well because of donations. And in a very short period of time, a school can go from not having a resource or library center to having it in a matter of months once we got through the grant process and we were able to donate it. So these are life-changing. These containers can be life-changing if you look at it in the right way. Obviously, we're doing it for a little bit more commercial public use, if you will, for these schools, but nonetheless, they made a big difference in these kids' lives. Shane Love Coaching says, I think the containers are great for starter homes or short-term rentals, someone in transition. I think so too. Chantel says, I think it provides a great option. I think so too. I think so too. It's an option. It's an option more than anything else. It adds and helps with the housing crisis that we have here in Jamaica. And that's something that's like really the way that we need to think about this, in my opinion. Elizabeth Hall says, no thanks to the container homes. Fair enough. That may not be for you. But again, I'm asking everybody, like, let's think about outside of our own personal needs more than anything else. Just like with the container libraries that we did. I mean, if we were like, oh, let's do this with like, brick and mortar, steel and cement, it would have taken us forever. And we probably wouldn't have been able to do half the amount of containers or half the amount of libraries if we had to do it with traditional construction. Oren says, BK then in high school, the IT and business education room was a container. Worked well, then can still work now. Good point. Ebony X says it's about having options. Agreed. HB says here in Florida, people live in trailer homes. It's affordable, especially for low income or retired people. Chantel says, or even for those that need to downsize, this will work. More developed countries in the EU and even North America have container homes, and they look great. Agreed. Synthwave Pro, what's going on, man? Glad to see you. Always nice to see you, and always nice to have you here. Elizabeth Hall says that is definitely a disaster waiting to happen. All that need is lightning to start a fire. I mean, that could happen with anything. I don't know much about the lightning, and somebody said this before, hitting the container. I don't know if that will affect it in any way. I don't know anything about that, but we can look into it. And again, talking about the heat, the outside of, from at least from the video, the outside of the container, it was not the metal, the traditional metal. It was something was put on it. T says they're built for transatlantic open seas. Copeland Russell says the reason why some Jamaicans would be against it, Jamaican love big houses. Yeah, I agree. But like, I don't know. I think we got to get out that habit. I know in America, like the same thing. Going back to my example about Norway and them being advanced, like they're the opposite. They're totally the opposite. It's like less is more. They're more concerned about the impact that they're having on the environment. And it's just, smaller homes and building homes for what you need. And it's not about showing off wealth and not about showing off your money. And I know it's a different culture here, but to me, it's a more sustainable mindset to maintain and to have less to worry about with a bigger home or costs, all that sort of thing. But I mean, if you got it, you got it. But I don't know, different mindset. Not something that I'm interested in the slightest. Welcome says, Throp, I missed it. Can you please show it again? No, I can't show it again. You can scrub back a little bit if you want. Sorry, everybody's saying hi, Jen. Getting out to scrub back a little bit to watch that. It's a long video. Deco Lard says, yes, man, get rid of the zinc fence house. But I don't know because everybody can't pay one if they're not working. Yeah, I mean, this is, and to Deco's point, the container homes are way better than the zinc homes. Does anybody not agree with that? Please let me know. Please let me know in the comments. Shayna says, talking to Jen, says, loved your Jen and Jay, loved your interview yesterday. I love your personality, transparency, and down-to-earth demeanor. I subscribe to your channel as well. HB says, I would do a dome house, but not a container home. And I think that's cool. Maybe that's for you, and maybe I'd be in the same boat, as well. But I'm going to show the bungalow video shortly. And then it may further my point here about how nice the container homes could be. Nicole Smith says, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Nicole. Mr. Info says, love it. You could make it 2 stories and as wide as you like. That's right. Jin says, with ventilation, I would turn a container into a beautiful salon. There you go. Welcome says, if you guys seen some container homes online, you would faint them nice bod. She says, imagine housing your employees close by for a little rent. Dosey Dose is asking about the heat again. Fair point, but like the lady, the video that we just watched, she was saying that the heat wasn't a problem when she was in there. I'm sure there are workarounds with that. Chris Charles, when I was young, this option would work for me. It would have been for me. He says people are forced to live in St. Ghetto. This is much nicer. I agree. Deco says, well, with container homes, at least they won't have to worry about termites, but you have to check around your home still. Sharika Wilson says, I've been watching videos on container homes for years. Many other countries use them. It is very popular among the tiny homes gang. They look nice on camera, serves well as offices. Then I guess. Natalie says it isn't worse. Vivian or stuck on Vivian. I'll let you guys have your convo. Vivian's going hard in the comments with everybody. I'll let you guys do your thing. Ebony X says thought reading in patois is so funny. This is why I have my patois complex and I don't speak it because of that. MPK says, hello, this is Austin. My family and I have now visited Jamaica 4 times. I'm seriously looking at an extended stays in Jamaica are moving to. Awesome. Good for you, Austin. Mr. Info says, with the advancements in construction materials and technology, you will never know it's a container home. Agreed. So I just want to show what's up, Shoba? I would love to see more modern housing options here in Negril. Absolutely. We're working on that. All right, so I want to show the bungalow real quick. So, sorry, cottage. So this is Travelers. This is, how long is this video? I'm looking for the video. So this is 5 minutes, about 5 minutes, 5 seconds. And this is our bungalow rooms converted into what we now call cottages. I won't spoil the video, but this kind of give you an idea of what I think is a very cozy space, livable space that I could see people. I could live there. I'll say that. And anyway, I will allow the video to play. And sorry if you've seen this already, but I think this is very relevant to our discussion here. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining the tour today. And we're going to be taking a look at the newly renovated bungalows, or otherwise now known as the cottages, which we've gone through about half of them so far. And we're looking at cottages number 4 and 8 at this time. And this is just a view of the balcony. We changed the entrance from being in the middle. And so if you are familiar with the property, there used to be an entrance for 2 rooms in one of these bungalow housing structures, and now each room has their own entrance to the side and a little bit more privacy as well, because we split the balconies. So you don't necessarily have to talk to the neighbor if you don't want to, but you can of course go around if you would like. And moving into the room itself, these are brand new beds and frames and new design with the throw pillows and the standard pillows in the back there. And then you can also see the kitchenette unit that we renovated, and we'll get to in a second. Also, we added a working desk with a charging station, so you have USB and also Type-C there as well, right below the television. And that's for anybody who wants to get some work done, especially those work from home people. And this is a wider view of the room. And I just want to make note of the AC, because these used to be fan cooled rooms, and now we got rid of the louver windows. And so now it's completely sealed up, if you will, with, as far as the windows go, brand new windows. And also want to bring attention to the ceilings. So the ceilings used to be flat, and now we brought them up to an apex to give a little bit more room and make it feel a little bit more spacious, but still maintain the coziness. and also bringing some more attention to the far right corner of the kitchenette that we have, and we'll get to that in a second, and also the newly renovated bathroom. So we basically gutted this entire place. Even the floor tiles are brand new as well. And this is another angle of the bed, and just want to bring some attention to the LED bed frame, as well as the embedded nightstands and lamps, and another view of the kitchenette, I should say. And as you can see, it has basically all the utensils and tools that you might need to cook a meal. Included is a mini fridge there down on the left, and a hot plate, coffee maker, ice bucket, all the knives and utensils that you may need to feed a small family. Not necessarily Thanksgiving dinner, but you can definitely chef it up in there, especially if you're staying for an extended period of time. This might be a perfect type of accommodation for you. And that essentially is the kitchen. And now moving on to the bathroom. And as I mentioned before, like floor to ceiling, new floor tiles, new ceiling tiles. Got the LED frame around the mirror just to give a little bit more lights. We changed out the square louver windows for the ship window, I guess you can call it. And we got the rainfall shower head and the glass frame shower door. Even the towel holders, those are all new. And again, trying to bring together everything in the room, the kitchenette, and to complete the cottage experience, if you will. So very happy and proud of how this was done, and really wanted to give a modern look and feel to this new room category, the cottage. And so also with this wide angle, want to bring attention to the closet. So you got some drawer space there, and you got some hanging space as well, and your safe, of course, and the ironing board is on the other side in between the closet and the window there. And yeah, another angle of the room, and also want to bring attention to that long standing mirror there, so full frame mirror. And that essentially is the bungalow, and this is kind of our way of paying homage to my dad and where he started from with this hotel, Travelers Beach Resort. Started right with one bungalow and grew to the 60-room resort that Travelers Beach Resort is now. And my dad hasn't seen it as yet physically. I think he's seen pictures and everything like that. So just want to share this renovation with you all. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. So back to our regularly scheduled program. All right, that's our bungalow. So as you can see, like that was like, this is to really, this Jay fits his comment. Can you do a tiny home in Jamaica that is not built from containers? Yeah, I think you can. So this, I would say, is a good model for a tiny home, how the cottage is designed and how it looks. So that's kind of my thinking, and I also think that it can be applied to the design of a container as well. Get fit with Chrissy. Good to see you. I met her this morning, so nice for saying hi in real life, and thanks for saying hi on here. Appreciate it. T says, didn't Rosalind, Jamaican YouTuber, build one in Kingston? Yeah. She did a bunch of these videos, actually. I don't know where they are now in terms of the containers, and we talked about this before. She's now migrated to the States. But yeah, she did a series on that. Chris Shaw says, una res, Mr. Thrap Patois. Thank you for having my back, Chris. Chris PW says, Throp, you can't compare your cottage with a container. I think you can. My point is, like, the cottage is made of wood, but it's compared to a home, it's cozier, right? It's smaller than your traditional home, or people think about a home. And as somebody commented earlier about Jamaicans wanting a bigger home, a big house, a mansion. Like I think a lot of that isn't necessary, But if you see and feel and experience one of the cottages, It made me feel like you don't need a big space. You don't need a large space. You have everything you need. It's nicely decorated. It's beautiful, comfortable, all the amenities that you can ask for in a small space. He says, cute cottage. I would live in it. I don't need more than 500 square feet, just a nice veranda. I agree. I don't think I need more than 500 square feet either. Ms. Cole says, of course, it's better than the zinc homes, but if it's not concrete, Jamaicans tend to shy away. Right. And that's what I mean. There would have to be a change in mindset and culture for this to be widely accepted. He says, I guess if an influencer bought one, Jamaicans would accept it. Maybe, yeah, perhaps. That's a good idea. I think that's a good idea. Like, I think that's what will need to happen, like, to kind of help normalize it. King Nala, what's going on, man? Good to see you. King Nala says, I wouldn't recommend a container due to it being a heat trap. We had one for storage, and it does get hot during the temperature in the summer months. Right, but with the proper insulation, it can make a big difference on the outside and inside. AC, of course, would be essential. Kuya Scarlet says container homes are more humane than a lot of the shacks some people are living in currently. That's my point. I think it's a big upgrade from some of these zinc homes that people are living in. Benjamin Sis says, hi, can you recommend a reasonable Airbnb for a long-term stay? Yeah, I actually put one in our last newsletter. So if you want to sign up for our newsletter, you can go to throtmedia.com and you can get our latest newsletter from there once you put your email in there. And we have an Airbnb recommendation. And we're actually going to start doing that regularly as part of our monthly newsletters, doing recommendations and hopefully helping people fulfill a need, at least an accommodation need. Always Jolly says, wow, I didn't expect the cottage house to be so beautiful. They finished up looking safe and habitable, and decor is fabulous. Thank you. Get Fit with Chrissy says, we are chilling in the room now, looking at the fruit trees, especially the plum tree in the back. Excuse me, in the back, ready to eat some. Awesome. Building in Jamaica says, love the cottage. I stayed at Travelers several times, but never the cottage because they didn't have AC. You'll absolutely stay in one now. They've actually become our most popular room now. At least one of like everybody wants to stay in them. It's just so cool. Like that's what we started out with, and now we've just completely turned them around. Really proud of them. MPK says, can you get the spray foam type of insulation in Jamaica? Yep, you can definitely get that here. I know exactly what you're talking about. Jay Fitz says they use containers for accommodations during World Cup in Qatar, and the heat there feels like Hades. But I heard about that. But did it work though? You know, was it okay? Was it in terms of like the insulation and everything like that? Did people find them comfortable? He says I actually met a Jamaican guy that builds them, but I don't remember his name. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot to take into consideration, but at the end of the day, like my conclusion with this is, and as many people have said in the comments, is that this is an option. To me, this is a viable housing solution that should be taken into consideration. I think a great test of this would be to create a neighborhood of these container homes. And I think there is a tremendous amount of dignity in them. They're quick. They get people from a much lower living standard to, I would say, a much higher living standard in a very short amount of time. The concerns about the heat, the concerns about hurricane, lightning, and all that, that would be for an engineer. Perhaps we get a container expert on. Maybe that's something that we do. Let's do that. Let's see if we can do that. I don't know if Candice or Havrika are on, but let's make note of that, and we'll see if we can get an expert on these container homes, and we'll do it. And it's not going to be somebody who's selling them in Jamaica, because that's obviously going to be very biased. But let's do it. Let's see if we can get somebody, maybe somebody who actually lives in one and calls a container home their home, and they could tell us. Excuse me. They could tell us and teach us all about the positives and negatives of living in a home and owning a home, a container home. I think that would be fair. We are, because we are speaking from, I mean, I have my limited experience with the container libraries. I can tell you those were very warm, because they had, like, when we delivered them, they didn't have any insulation. We didn't do anything to the outside, I think, other than paint them. But I think, but eventually some of them got ACs and they were fine, and it was perfectly okay. But I think with doing, outfitting in them in certain ways and being creative, we can mitigate against a lot of some of these risks that we're talking about here. But yeah, let's see if we can get one of those experts on, person living in them, and then also somebody, maybe an engineer who knows, like, the detailed aspects these containers. Okay, Havrika says yes. Yes, I'm working on it. Okay, cool. Thanks, Havrika. MPK says, how do we sign up for the newsletter? So you can go to ThropX is probably a good way. Like, go there. There should be a pop-up that comes up that you can sign up, but you can go to thropx.com. Then you can sign up for the newsletter there. And every month we're going to have some sort of real estate education enlightenment in those newsletters, whether it's for rent or for purchase. We had a commercial property that's for sale, a hotel on the West End that is for sale. That was in our most recent newsletter, and then we have an Airbnb that is for rent in the most recent newsletter as well. So if you're interested, you can go to thropx.com and you can sign up for the newsletter, and you can get the latest newsletter that we put out earlier this month. Yes. Luber HS says, hello, I'm right here. Hello. Does that mean you're here travelers, or that you're here and you can speak to living in a container? Let me know. Hidiyami says, we are Cubans and come here every time that visit Negril. Okay, awesome, awesome. I think I may know you guys, maybe. But if it is who I'm thinking about, just say hello next time you see me, please. But I think I know you. Jay Fitz says it worked fine, so I don't think the heat was a problem. Gotcha. We're talking about Qatar, where they had the World Cup and they used containers. Good to know. He says, I think it would cut down quarreling because people need privacy and their own space. Agreed. Mikayan says, I was trying to book one of your cottages, but $200 per night, a bit steep for the countryside. Why is the price so high? I would say demand. So we have a dynamic pricing throughout all of our rooms. So in the winter season, it's definitely going to be higher. Our rates are going to be just higher during the winter season, and they're a little bit more affordable now in the summer season. So that's just generally across the board. Keep that in mind, and that is, I would say, for the most part, the market. She says there's a ton on YouTube, and that's the website right there for if you want to sign up for our newsletter. All right, I'm just looking at the heated discussion in the comments. Just let the good times roll. All right, so that's I would say is it for the most part with the containers itself. In bringing it to how it relates to Negril. Negril, and I talk about this all the time. Negril is one of those places that we don't have enough housing here. We don't have any modern housing and enough modern housing. And I shouldn't say we don't have modern housing. That's not accurate, but we don't have enough of it. Shoba was saying earlier in one of her comments, she was saying she would love to see more modern. Here we go. I found it. I would love to see more modern housing options here in Negril. Absolutely. So I think again, maybe preaching to the choir at this point, but there's huge, mega opportunities with housing development in the grill because there are so few, very little options in the grill. And that's also driving the prices up because supply and demand. And man, if some developers came here and started doing this, you would do very well. You would do very, very extremely well. Anybody who has tried to get a long-term rental here in the last 2 years, please tell me about your experience in trying to do that, specifically in the winter season. So call it the end of November all the way through March. I try dare anybody to try even right now. Try and get long term housing in Negril for those periods for 2024. I think you're going to have a very warm time in doing that. Or you're going to pay a lot of money, and people are going to pay a lot of money because they want to be here. People are going to pay a lot of money for that because the rental inventory is so low. There's just not enough. Like right now, all of the good long-term rentals are gone for the winter season 2024. I know many people who left 2023 and they know they're coming back. As they were leaving, they made their deposits for coming down for like a month, 3 months, however long. There's a lot of snowbirds that come to Negril, and those homes and those rental properties are already booked out for 2024. So this is just not me saying it. You can go yourself, do your own research. You can try to book a long-term rental for the winter. Right now, you're late. You're very, very late, and we're only in May. You're very late, and that just speaks to the rent. And that's just the rentals. Hotel is kind of it's the same thing, the hotels are also booked up as well, and I'm just thinking about like people who want to stay here for long periods of time. So just I guess this is my point in talking about the severe housing need that is here in Negril. And the modern aspects, there just isn't, there isn't anything else. There isn't anything else that you can confidently look at if you are looking for modern accommodations for a long period of time, because again, we have low inventory and most of those things are gone. And then if you are trying to do something after that, forget about it. MPK says, does the average cost of building a cottage? I don't know. And the reason why I say I don't know, because I'm assuming you're talking about this cottage that we have here. The structure was there. All we did was redesign the inside. So the bungalow was already existing. So we did a redesign of the inside. How much would a building cost? I'm not sure. Lumber is very expensive right now. Um, at least here in Jamaica. I've heard other parts of the world are having similar experiences, but I'm unsure. Ebony X says, change the mindset of the masses regarding container house is going to be a challenge, but once they see that it can be done, then most people will hop on board. Shana says, this is for Chad. Thank you for your hard work and dedication. Buy yourself a drink after the live stream. Okay, I got you, Chad. I owe Chad $5. Thank you, Shana. Appreciate that, and I'm sure Chad does as well. Natalie Holmes says, T, you're my favorite people. Everything I think of your posting already beating me to it. Okay, I'll let you guys go off in the chat there. All right. I think we're going to leave it there. with the container discussion. I have a couple more articles here, but we can save them for next time. I thought this is we don't got to prolong the stream. I thought this was a good discussion on the container libraries, and the container homes. And again, my opinion, I think they're a viable solution option. Is it the answer? No, to like the housing problem that we have throughout Jamaica or here in Negril, probably not. But I think that they could, like, if they were to come here in Negril and put on our open land space, I think it could make a difference in many people's lives very, very quickly. And it's an option. It's an option I think we should consider. And we'll see where Jamaica goes. I think we talked about the bungalows, the container, the cottages. You need to get some food. We talked about the cottages and how they can be converted as a tiny home model. I think it can do well. But we're going to be doing some research that Safrika put in there. She's already working on getting some experts on here. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We have a problem. We have identified that there is a great housing need. And let's see if we can put some viable options on the table, put out all the pros and cons, and see if it's a really an option that can make some big differences in many people's lives. I think so at this point. Okay. Things are heating up in the comments. I'm gonna leave you guys. I'm gonna leave this here. This is another good discussion. We are going to be back next week again, same time. I think we might be a little bit earlier next week, but we'll be back here again next Sunday. I thought this was a good discussion on container homes, and even like doing this, and as a team does the research on all this stuff, like I learned so much as well, and they bring it together. So shout out to the Thought Media team, and Chad being the moderator, and then also the production team for putting this together. Havrika, thank you very much. This was another good one. Like I said, I think I learned a lot, and I hope you all did too. And yeah, we'll leave it there. The rain stopped, and got some good beach views. Now I'm gonna go get some lunch and get some food in me. I feel like I have some updates for you. But no, we just got another video coming out next week. If you want, again, to sign up for the newsletter to get more information, please do that. You can go to thropx.com and sign up. ThropX tickets are available, so you can... you can go to thropx.com. Tickets are available on thropx.com. And of course, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers once again. I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday. I appreciate all the mothers hanging out with me today here on this Sunday. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Mother's Day today. Have a great week, everybody. I will see you on Sunday. Peace.